everybody, welcome to Kiki's Legos. Today we're building the pink cherry blossom. Right here I have the white one. Getting started with the stem, you have the brown piece with a tube in the middle, and we're using the black connectors to connect them together. You should be using 2 of each. And then there's the gray tubes. They should be going opposite directions of each other. And then we have brown caps that go right onto those gray tubes. And then we have brown wrenches that should be going in opposite directions. We'll be building a couple more of these. They're very similar to that. The only difference will be it'll be a gray connector coming out of the top. I will say I don't know all of the correct Lego terminology and probably won't be using them anyway. I think Legos are meant to be for everybody and anybody. That's why their age range is like 2 to 92. And not everyone knows those Lego terms. This is how my brain processes what these pieces are called. And if it works for you, that's great. If not, there's a mute button. Now that we have all 3 of them built, just about, getting ahead of myself a little bit, like I usually do. The last of those wrenches put in. And the gray connector goes right on top, and then it'll be one of those little stubby brown pieces, making sure that the tube and that goes the opposite direction of the wrenches, which creates kind of a left and right and a front and back orientation of this set. Gets tricky. It's probably like half past bedtime when I put this set together, so I'm a little tired. It's kind of obvious. But there it is. You should have 3 wrenches coming out of each side and then 2 tubes coming out the front and 2 tubes out the back. These are little decorative branch pieces getting put into some of those gray tubes. Here we're starting to build the branches that stem out of it. It's going to be one of those little pieces that would clamp into a wrench, one of the sticks with like a little notch in the middle, and then a cube with all the holes. This one will have 4 pedestals sticking out of it, and we'll build 2 of these. Perfect. Those will be going into those bottom 2 wrenches. This set is fuller at the bottom and then narrows out towards the top, just like they would in real life. I love the Botanicals Collection for that. They try to keep it as close to the botanical shape as possible. This next set of little branches are the same as the first, just with the 2 pedestals instead of 4, and they'll be poking out the opposite sides. And we'll see it later on. The Botanicals Collection is known for doing really interesting Lego pieces from other sets to kind of create the unique leaf and petal shapes. The frogs in the bonsai tree is probably the most well-known one. They also do the frogs and orchids and the Demogorgon heads from Stranger Things. The Little Plants Collection has a lot of it as well. I don't think there is a set that doesn't use them, maybe except for the Birds of Paradise. The top set of branches is just the little clamp that goes into the wrenches. Here we are building out for the front and back of the branch, and it's going to be a little pedestal with a cap and then one of the sticks with the notches in the middle, and we build 4 of them. Like I said, those will just go in the fronts and backs into those tubes. There's exactly 4 spots for them to go. And this next part is for the bottom set of the front and back branches, and it's a cube. You put a little cap in the bottom. I know that can be a little tricky. And then the 2 pedestals out the side. I know I have a hard time getting those little caps into the bottom, so if anybody has a good trick for that, let me know. And then all of those pedestals should be going up and down. I realize that one is going left to right. I do fix it later on, and it's not the most important thing to be correct. It's definitely something you can customize and have fun with too. I think mixing and matching the pink and white flowers would be a lot of fun to do. This is the top of our branch, and it's just the cone into the bottom of that cube with 2 pedestals. And there it is. The frame of the top half of our branch is pretty much set. This last part is building out the bottom half of our branch. These are fairly tall, and it's just going every other with a brown tube and a black connector piece. And that part's all done. We just connect it right into the bottom, and our frame is all built out, and the next part is the flowers. I've built most of the flowers before this video. It is just the light pink flower with a dark pink flower in the center. And starting off with flower placement is just the flower on top, and then there is 2 going on the front and back bottom branches, right on the ends. This is where the orientation, I think, gets the most tricky because it almost plays mind games with you. We'll be doing 6 flowers with these cute little leaves. Those will go on the ends of the top, front, and back, as well as the sides of the bottom, front, and back branches. I love the pink color. It's so bright. I'm ready for spring. These ones just have the little cap at the bottom, and they will go onto, oh, I'm confused myself, the tops of the left and right branches, both the bottom and the top set, because we made 4 of them. Anyone else ready for spring? Where I live, we literally go from 70 degrees to 30 degrees in 3 days, and that's taking it easy on us. Here we're adding more of the flowers with green leaves. I think we have about 8 of them made up for this. And they're just going on the left and right side of the left and right branch cubes. On all 4 of them. I think I shorted myself 1 here. Next is adding in more flowers, just kind of filling it in and getting all those empty spots. You'll see as I go, I try to tilt the branches upward. And it's a very fragile piece. You can see I had accidentally disconnected it there and did it again. It's definitely not a set for newer Lego users or smaller children who maybe aren't quite as careful or have the dexterity yet. This next part is cherry blossom buds. Take a tripod and you put a little branch in the middle and then stick some caps on the end. And this last part is kind of what I was talking about earlier. These are little ice creams made to look like the cherry blossom buds. Like I said, it's a common theme throughout the LEGO Botanicals collection. As you get them and start putting them together, you'll notice it more and more. They even put it in the little direction booklet. It is the cutest thing, and it makes it so much more fun. I feel like the Little Plants one really had quite a few of them in there. And even just looking at them now, it's so much fun just to spot them. And there we have our cherry blossoms, the pink and the white. Let me know what you guys want to see next.